The collision alarms scream before Talon Vire even opens his eyes. The transport shuttle's cockpit is a mess of flickering lights and cracked displays. He's been jarred out of cryo far too early. Something's wrong. Artificial gravity failing, mutters a disembodied voice. Course deviation, significant. Impact imminent. He jerks upright in his crash webbing, heart thundering. Outside, through a spiderweb viewport, a rust-colored planet looms large and angry, ringed by lightning storms and surrounded by glittering debris. This isn't where he was supposed to wake up. Override system lockout, he barks, fingers flying across the cracked interface. Sparks snap from the console, searing his wrist. The shuttle bucks, violently. Warning klaxons flare again, louder now. Come on, hold together. He's rerouted power to reverse thrusters, but it's too late. The planet pulls like a drowning hand. Gravity isn't a force now, it's a sentence. The shuttle hits atmosphere like a bullet to water. Talon's teeth rattle in his skull. He sees clouds ignite around him. Friction chews at the hull. Heat shielding peels like burning leaves. He screams into the void, just as the left wing shears off in a burst of fire. The last thing he sees is a flash of red jungle and a shard of glass hurtling toward his face. Pain is the first thing Talon Vire feels. Sharp and immediate. The second is wetness, thick, cloying humidity seeping through his shredded flight suit. His eyes crack open to a blur of green. Not the pale mint of hydroponic domes. Not even the deep emerald of Earth's forests. This green is alive in a way that feels wrong. He's lying half-crushed against the twisted trunk of a tree that looks grown from glass. The bark pulses faintly. It's warm. Too warm. His head spins. There's blood in his hair. The air smells like rotting orchids and burnt circuitry. Groaning, Talon rolls onto his side. Every muscle screams. He spots the remains of his shuttle about 80 meters away, a jagged smear across a smoldering clearing. Smoke curls upward, tangled in vines. A few meters closer, something blinks. His emergency beacon. Still attached to his belt. Still working. Well, he mutters, that's something. He activates it, and immediately regrets it. The beacon chirps loudly, echoing through the jungle like a signal flare to every predator in the biome. The hairs on the back of his neck rise. Then he hears it, rustling. Subtle at first. Then growing. Figures step from the trees, tall, silent, deliberate. Their eyes catch the light, golden, slitted, assessing. Warriors. 7 of them. Maybe more. Their skin is not green, it's a shifting cascade of bronze and obsidian, patterned like jaguar pelts. Each one bears weapons that gleam like living bone. Armor of plated scale hugs their athletic forms, and etched symbols glow softly across their torsos. But it's the 8th that makes his breath catch. She steps into view like she owns the ground she walks on. Her presence radiates control. She's taller than the rest, with deep-set silver eyes and hair bound in cords of dark metal and cloth. She doesn't speak right away. She studies him like a scientist studies a specimen. Or a hawk a mouse. Then she speaks, not in basic, but something guttural and beautiful all at once. Her words are rhythmic, ancient. But her last phrase is unmistakably translated. You fell from the fire sky. Talon licks his cracked lips. Yeah, he croaks. Name's Talon Vire. Rescue Corps. Earth Federation. My ship. Silence. Her voice is quiet, but it cuts. You breathe loud, stranger. Her eyes flick down to the beacon on his hip. You called others? She asks. He nods slowly. She narrows her eyes, then glances at her warriors. They tense. Not with fear, but calculation. Then she turns to him and says, in perfect basic, Then we have very little time. You are now mine, Skyborn. Talon's brain struggles to process the words. Yours? He repeats, blinking away blood and sweat. The woman steps closer. The jungle light catches her face, sharply elegant, symmetrical, but alien in the smallest ways. Her eyes are too luminous, too still. Her skin, up close, seems to shimmer with faint motes of energy. My claim was first, she says. By the laws of the Virelli Concord, your fate belongs to me until the matron council speaks. Her warriors shift, some with approval, others with amusement. A younger one whispers to another, "Do you think he can even walk?" The reply, "Do you care?" Talon drags himself upright, cradling his ribs. "I'm not a pet. Or property. You don't get to claim people." A ripple of laughter passes through the warriors. The leader does not smile. "We do not get to. We must. You are a variable. A risk. You must be processed." Talon raises a hand, trying to steady himself. "Look. I crashed. I'm injured. But I've activated a beacon. My team will come. In less than a month, probably. Let's just talk." Her eyes flick to the canopy. "Your signal will not reach orbit. This world is protected." The words sink in. "You're jamming it," he mutters. "We are preserving what is left," she answers. Talon takes a breath, despite the pain. "What do I call you?" She tilts her head. "You may call me Lysari, Warden of the East Spiral, heir to the line of thorns." "Right. Lysari. I'm Talon Vire, pilot. I don't want any trouble." "Then don't make any," she says simply. She gestures, and two warriors approach. One carries a binding of living thread that coils like it senses him. The other holds a weapon that looks like a spear fused with circuitry. Talon raises his hands. "Whoa, hold on. I will not cage you unless you force it," Lysari says. "But I will not let you vanish into the green. This world does not forgive trespass. I am your safest path." He grits his teeth. "So what now?" "No," she says, stepping close, so close he can feel the warmth of her breath. "You walk. And you listen. And you try very hard not to die before we decide whether you are curse or cure." Then she turns and strides into the jungle. Talon has no choice but to follow, flanked by warriors who don't smile and don't speak. The forest swallows them whole. The jungle is alive. Not in the poetic nature documentary sense. It breathes. Trees pulse faintly with bioluminescent threads. Vines shift when you look away. Insects hum with patterns too regular to be random, like code, not nature. Talon stumbles on roots that move slightly before he steps. Every breath is syrupy with perfume and mold. It's not just alien, it feels aware. They walk for hours. Maybe more. Talon's boots are shredded. His ribs grind with every step. But the warriors don't slow. And Lysari never looks back. When the jungle finally breaks, Talon stops dead. A city blooms from the cliffside like coral, vast and vertical, grown rather than built. Towering stalks of crystalline bark spiral upward, their tops vanishing into cloud. Walkways connect them like spiderwebs. Some pulse with light. Others creak in the wind like ancient bones. At the base, woven into the roots, are structures that seem half organic, half machine. Water flows upward through transparent veins. The air smells of lightning and cinnamon. He whispers, "Holy hell!" Lysari doesn't stop. "Welcome to Marrow Spire. The last city." The streets are nearly empty. What few people they pass watch him in silence. Women all, tall, armed, deliberate. Many wear the same spiral-marked armor as Lysari's warriors. Others wear robes, their skin etched with luminous tattoos. They stare at Talon as if he's a ghost. "Where are the men?" he asks quietly. Lysari keeps walking. Talon stops. "Seriously. I've seen hundreds of your people and not one man." She turns slowly. "There haven't been males in Virelli society for over 300 years," she says. He blinks. "You're joking." "No. But biology? We adapted." Her tone is flat. "Parthenogenesis. You call it virgin birth. The solution that saved us. And now, the problem that's killing us." She gestures at a wide spiral path climbing the nearest tower. "Come." The council waits. The chamber is vast, carved into the living heart of the spiral tree. Its walls shimmer with veins of silver light. Seats rise in concentric circles, stone-grown in organic patterns, each one occupied by a robed figure whose face is unreadable. 21 of them. All watching. Lysari leads him to the center platform. A pulse of heat rises from the floor, some kind of scanning field. A voice cuts through the air, sharp and melodic. You bring him here like a trophy, Warden. The speaker is ancient. Skin like worn bronze, eyes clouded with power. Her robe is heavier than the others, threaded with shimmering black veins. This is Remaya, Lysari murmurs. High Matron of the Thorns. Talon straightens, as much as his ribs allow. I didn't ask to be here. Few do, Remaya replies. Another matron leans forward. You claim to be a rescuer. From beyond the stars. I crashed. I was on a deep-range supply mission. The Federation will send a team for me. Assuming they find you. Another voice says, almost gently. Assuming they care. Another adds, dry as dust. The chamber fills with soft murmurs. Judging. Measuring. Remaya lifts a hand. Silence falls. There are 3 questions that matter, she says. Are you alone? Are you honest? And are you useful? Talon breathes in through his teeth. Useful how? To stop this. She gestures around them. Our city dies. Our people weaken. Our future crumbles. Your blood may hold answers. Your mind may offer others. He looks at Lysari. Her eyes are unreadable. And if I refuse? Remaya's voice is calm. Then we will take what we need. With or without consent. Lysari speaks sharply then. No. I claimed him. He is under my law. Remaya's smile does not reach her eyes. Then you will bear the consequences. A long silence. Then Talon says softly, I'll help. But I won't be chained. Good, Remaya says. Because you may have just volunteered for extinction prevention. They leave the chamber under escort, but Lysari waves off the guards once they reach the outer bridge. She doesn't speak. Just walks, fast, across a glimmering span of woven roots. The sun dips low, painting the canopy in bruised amber. Talon limps behind, still clutching his side. So, that was terrifying. Lysari finally stops at a curved terrace overlooking the jungle. Wind stirs her hair. You held your ground. That matters. I'm not sure if I just negotiated a diplomatic alliance or signed up to be breeding stock. Her lips twitch. Almost a smile. It's not always easy to tell the difference. Talon leans on the railing. Your people, they're scared. She nods. They won't say it. But they know. Each generation is smaller. Sicker. Our tech still runs, but we've forgotten how to maintain much of it. The archives say we once reached the stars. Now we fear what falls from them. He hesitates. So what happened? To the men, I mean. She exhales slowly. It started as fear. Escalated into control. Then war. At the end, our ancestors chose exile over annihilation. You exiled all the men? Not just them. Anyone who opposed the purge. Dissidents. Scientists. Half the species, gone in a generation. Talon looks out at the sky, heavy with approaching storm clouds. So why didn't they come back? They tried. Her voice is quieter now. But by then, we'd rewritten the history. Declared them monsters. Closed the skies. Built cities like this, beautiful prisons. Thunder rolls in the distance. They hate you, he says softly. But they need you. Yes. And you? Lysari looks at him then. Really looks. Her eyes are not cold now, just tired. I don't know yet. The wind changes. The smell of ozone grows stronger. Suddenly, Lysari stiffens. She turns, face hardening. Come! Something's wrong. They run. They reach the outer ring just as the sky lights up. Streaks of blue fire cut through the clouds, ships entering atmosphere. Silent, fast, surgical. Talon skids to a halt. That's not Federation. No. Lysara's voice is sharp. Those are Vatian engines. He frowns. I don't know that name. You wouldn't. They left before we locked the skies. Rogue exiles. Scientists. Extremists. They called themselves the Remnant. More ships follow, triangular, sleek, bristling with unknown energy signatures. Alarms wail across the city. We have to warn the council, Lysari says. Talon grabs her arm. Wait, if they're your exiled population. They might think I'm with them. Lysari blinks. You're not? Not unless they recruited me while I was unconscious. She pulls a crystal shard from a satchel at her side, breathes across its surface, and it lights with a flickering projection, a tactical grid, pulsing with incoming signals. They're deploying on the eastern plateau, she says, near the old hydro vaults. Talon's eyes widen. That's where my beacon signal bounced. I thought the transmission failed, but it didn't. Someone intercepted it. They followed your signal. She realizes. Your crash was the trigger. A new voice cuts in behind them. Then let's hope they weren't the only ones who heard it. Both spin around. A woman stands in the shadow of a twisted arch compact, armored in Federation black, helmet off. Her hair is braided tightly, face sharp with calculation. Lieutenant Arlen Vega. She says. Search and retrieval, Earth Federation. And I've been looking for you, Talon. Talon stares, breath catching. Arlen? She strides forward, boots crunching softly on the root-bound walkway. Damn, Talon. You look like you fell through 3 atmospheres and landed on a cactus. He grins, disbelieving. Close enough. They embrace, quick but real. Then Arlen's eyes flick to Lysari. And you are? Warden Lysari of the Thorn Spiral. She replies coolly. This man is under my protection. I gathered that, Arlen says, glancing at the crystal bindings coiled loosely around Talon's wrist. Nice leash. It is symbolic. Lysari replies. Sure, Arlen says. So was my last marriage. Talon steps between them. Okay, easy. Arlen, what the hell are you doing here? She motions behind her. A second figure appears, taller, bulkier, armored head to toe. We intercepted your beacon 2 weeks ago. But Command didn't authorize a retrieval op. So we went rogue. We? Talon asks. The larger figure removes his helmet. A weathered face, deep-set eyes, and a half-healed scar running from temple to chin. Sergeant Havogoran. He grunts. You owe me 3 drinks and an explanation. Talon almost laughs. Make it 4. Arlen cuts in. We weren't the only ones who intercepted the signal. Someone else was broadcasting piggyback. Jamming frequencies. Messing with orbital traffic. Lysari's jaw tightens. The Remnant. Arlen nods. Looks that way. They've got tech we've never seen before. An attitude to match. Talon's brain races. What do they want? Arlen exchanges a look with Goran. Best guess? Control. Your presence gave them cover. They're spinning a narrative, Federation pilot abducted by a lost matriarchy. Cue the invasion, liberation, and resource grab. Goran snorts. Same old story. Different planet. Lysari folds her arms. This is not your planet. No, Arlen says. But we're standing on it. And unless we stop this war before it starts, everyone loses. The council chamber is chaos. Matron Ramaya stands in the center, flanked by her aides. Holograms of enemy ship formations flicker across the air, painting the walls in streaks of blue and red. Voices clash, panic, argument, pride. Lysari's voice slices through the noise. The Remnant have landed on sacred ground. They will move on the city within a day. We must respond. A younger matron snaps. With what? Spears and memories? Another spits. We do not beg the sky-born for salvation. We survived the culling. We endure. They won't let you endure this time, Arlen says, stepping forward. They're not here to negotiate. The matrons fall silent. All eyes on her. She pulls up a schematic on her wrist pad, a projection of the remnants' landing site, overlaid with tactical readouts. Their landing pattern is classic perimeter sweep, military occupation, not exploration. They'll strike first and apologize later. Goran adds. Talon steps into the center. I know this isn't my fight. But I've seen this play out before. The Remnant want your planet. They want your technology. And if they get it, they won't, Lysari says firmly. Because we still have the vault. Ramaya frowns. That facility is unstable. It still functions. Lysari counters. The neuroweb, if we can reactivate it, can give us control over the entire biosphere. It's our only chance. Talon looks at her sharply. The neural web? You're serious? Lysari nods. It was designed by the first settlers. Male and female minds working in tandem. A living planetary network. But it hasn't worked since the schism. Arlen whistles. You're saying the planet's conscious? In a way. Goran murmurs. You think we can wake it? Talon's heart pounds. Not we. Us. Lysari meets his eyes. Together. And in that moment, no one speaks. They leave at first light. Talon, Lysari, Arlen, Goran, and two of Lysari's trusted warriors travel under canopy cover, their path winding downward through the city's root spirals into the deep jungle. A storm brews above them, thunder crackling like distant artillery. Their destination, the Vault of Origin, a place whispered about in council debates but long considered forbidden. Talon keeps pace, but the terrain grows stranger. Trees twist in unnatural symmetry. Stone blooms with fractal patterns. The air vibrates faintly, like it's filled with sound too low to hear. Lysari walks ahead, every movement precise. Her tension is obvious. He catches up beside her. You okay? She doesn't look at him. I haven't been here since I was a child. My mother brought me once. She was the last matron to try waking the vault. What happened? She never returned. Silence follows. They descend through a ravine choked with glowing moss, down ancient stairs etched with unreadable script. Finally, they reach a clearing, and Talon stops cold. At the center, half swallowed by roots and cracked stone, sits the vault. It looks like a fallen starship, smooth black metal, veined with light, partially merged with the living ground. Glyphs shimmer across its surface in rhythmic pulses. The front opens like a breathing mouth. It's still active, Talon says. Lysari nods. It's waiting. Arlen unslings her weapon. You sure we want to go inside something that's literally digesting the landscape? Goran grunts. Too late to turn back. They enter. Inside, the vault is cold and silent, but not dead. Lights blink to life as they pass. Walls hum with recognition. Talon's breath fogs in the air. It's reading our presence. Panels unfold around them like petals. The vault's inner chamber is vast and circular, the ceiling a projection of the galaxy, swirling and alive. At the center stands a platform flanked by two thrones, one shaped from living crystal, the other smooth alloy. Interface seats. Lysari murmurs. Male and female. It only responds when both are occupied. They move forward. Talon's heart hammers in his chest. Lysari places a hand on the crystal seat. It pulses beneath her fingers. He mirrors her, placing his palm on the alloy. The chamber reacts. Light erupts around them, flooding the room in a spiral of color and sound. Their minds are pulled into something vast, an ocean of memory, data, emotion. Voices fill the air, layered whispers from 100,000 lives. Talon grits his teeth. I feel like I'm being downloaded. Don't resist, Lysari says. Her voice echoes in his mind, not his ears. Let it see you. He exhales slowly. Opens his thoughts. Images rush by, birth rituals, cities blooming, wars igniting. He sees the split, the exile, the division. Sees Lysari's ancestors, noble and flawed. Sees his people too, faces he recognizes in dreamlike flashes. Then projections. Timelines. Warnings. If they stay divided, both branches will die. But if they reconnect, if the neural web is whole again, the planet itself could evolve, adapt, heal. The platform pulses. Connection accepted. The vault speaks in both their minds. Unity protocol engaged. Talon collapses to his knees, gasping. Lysari trembles, tears streaking her face. They did it. But outside the vault, the jungle trembles too. The remnant are coming. The ground shakes. Dust rains from the vault's ceiling as distant explosions echo through the jungle. Talon scrambles to his feet, adrenaline flooding his limbs. The vault's glow dims, its interface retracting. Lysari steadies herself. Her eyes are glassy, but focused now. The neural web is awake. Arlen's voice crackles over her communicator. We've got incoming! 3 remnant dropships, full combat loadouts. ETA 4 minutes. Talon turns to Lysari. Can we use the neural network? Call for help? We're not fully integrated yet, she says. But I can give us a shield, something. Goran, already at the entrance, shoulders his weapon. Start fast. Talk later. Outside, the jungle is in chaos. Trees ripple as if flinching from something unseen. The skies swirl with low-flying ships, sleek, angular vessels bearing the jagged insignia of the remnant. A voice booms from above, amplified by some kind of resonance tech. Citizens of Marrow Spire. This is Commander Kellas of the Remnant Ascendant. Surrender the vault. Surrender the Skyborn. Or be purged. Talon growls. Wow. Straight to fascism. Arlen smirks. Gotta admire the efficiency. Lysari steps onto the ledge above the vault's entrance, her hair whipping in the wind. She raises her palm. Crystalline vines burst from the soil, weaving into a shimmering dome over the vault. Energy weapons fire seconds later. The shield holds, for now. Below, Goran and the warriors set up a defensive line with scavenged tech and native weaponry. Arlen taps her forearm console, projecting a crude battle map into the air. They're trying to encircle us, she says. 2 squads on foot, 1 with air support. They want to crush us fast before the council can respond. Talon checks his sidearm, a Federation pulse pistol, half-charged. He looks to Lysari. I've got 1 good clip, a cracked rib, and a planet-sized neural database that thinks we're its only chance. She smiles faintly. Then we fight like gods. The first wave hits hard. Remnant soldiers move like ghosts, armor adapted to the jungle, weapons spitting high-frequency disruptor bolts. One of Lysari's warriors goes down screaming as her shield fails. Goran lays down suppressive fire, blasting 2 assailants into steaming pulp. They're testing us. Getting range. Talon crouches beside Arlen, firing calculated bursts. If they breach the shield. They won't, Lysari says, her voice suddenly doubled. It echoes with a deeper resonance, as if the planet itself is speaking through her. She steps forward, hands glowing with the light of the neural weave. Vines erupt from the earth, wrapping around 2 remnant soldiers and slamming them against a tree hard enough to splinter bone. Roots twist into the barrels of rifles, shattering them. Holy hell, Talon whispers. You're controlling the terrain. Lysari turns, eyes glowing silver. Only barely. It wants more. It wants us. He gets it then. This wasn't just about compatibility. The vault needs balance. Both halves. Male and female. Skyborn and rooted. Machine and organic. We finished the link, he says. In the vault. Now. Arlen protests. We'll lose ground. No. Goran holds them. You buy us minutes, Talon says. That's all we need. Goran grins, blood on his teeth. I love impossible odds. They retreat into the vault, fire crackling behind them. And the race to complete the unity begins. Back inside the vault, the lights are brighter, hungrier. The neural web pulses in waves, not just data, but emotion. Hope. Desperation. A mind too vast to comprehend, reaching toward two fragments of itself. Talon and Lysari step onto the twin thrones again. This time, they don't hesitate. As they sit, the vault takes them. No pain. Just expansion. They're not alone anymore. They float in memory, not individual memories, but shared ones. Battles long forgotten. Loves that rewrote nations. Betrayals that collapsed empires. From both sides. Male. Female. Scientist. Warrior. Matron. Rebel. Even child. They see the schism, not as a war, but a choice that calcified into dogma. The code that ran through the planet's intelligence had been sliced in half. Not disabled. Not destroyed. Just divided. Can you feel it? Lysari asks, her voice both beside him and inside him. Talon nods, eyes closed. It's trying to complete itself. The vault speaks again, its voice a layered harmony of old and new. Final pairing required. Do you accept cognitive merging? They glance at each other. Lysari's hand slips into his. Yes, they say in unison. The world tilts. They fall together, not in body, but in thought. Light erupts from the vault. Outside, Goran braces as a remnant blast shatters the top of the shield dome, only for new crystalline vines to surge up and seal the breach before the next volley. Arlen ducks behind cover. That shield's adapting. Goran grunts. Or getting smarter. Inside, Talon and Lysari are suspended in a vast datascape. Code spirals around them like DNA. Fractal gates unfold, doors opening not just to information but to potential. They see possibilities like river deltas branching infinitely. The neural web floods them with input, tactical data, topographical maps, remnant comms. They see Kael's command center. His plans. His fears. His weaknesses. Lysari focuses. Can we control their tech? Not directly, Talon says, but we can crash their comm relays. Force them to break formation. He flicks virtual switches with his mind. Reality shudders. Outside, remnant soldiers pause as their headsets spark. Armor HUDs flicker, then die. Then comes the backlash. The jungle itself shifts, roots moving beneath their feet, trees leaning to block lines of sight. Fog rolls in, thick and smart, hiding defenders but not enemies. Arlen uses the cover to flank a remnant heavy and drops him with a single precision shot. This place is haunted. Goran shouts through the comms. They're breaking! Hit them hard! Back in the vault, Talon and Lysari feel the strain. The system is stable, for now, but fragile. The fusion's working, Talon says. For the moment, Lysari replies. But we're not done. Above, high in orbit, new ships arrive. More Federation. But not the ones they expected. And not all of them friendly. In the upper atmosphere of Casaria, the stars flicker with movement. Dozens of sleek Federation cruisers cut through orbit, flanked by remnant battle groups and unmarked carriers. Talon's vision, still half connected to the neural web, shows him more than the others can see. This isn't a rescue, he mutters from within the vault. It's a joint occupation. Lysari sees it too. The remnant and Federation ships aren't fighting. They're coordinating. She whispers, "You were never meant to survive the crash." Talon's heart drops. It was a setup. In the neural interface, they tap into Federation encrypted comms, logs from weeks ago, communications between the remnant Commander Kael and Admiral Neril of the 7th Federation Fleet. Pilot Vire's crash is our chance. We frame it as an abduction. Federation public demands retaliation. We swoop in. Secure the vault. The remnant gets the surface. The Federation gets orbital rights and extraction tech. And the locals? Pacified. Integrated. Quietly sterilized if necessary. Lysari's breath hitches. Talon's fists clench. That's what I was. An excuse. No longer, she says, eyes blazing. Now your proof. The vault pulses faster, sensing their rage, not wild emotion, but purpose. The web adjusts. It evolves. We can broadcast, Talon realizes. Full spectrum, planet-wide. We show the truth. Lysari agrees. No more myths. No more control. They reach out, fingers brushing virtual nodes, and the vault obeys. Every tower in Marrow Spire lights up. Every crystal node, every neural vine, every archive pulse. The entire planet becomes a signal flare. Holograms unfurl across the sky, massive, clear, undeniable. They show Kael's face, speaking lies. They show Admiral Nero's orders. They show the remnant forces torching jungle villages. They show Talon's crash and Lysari's protection. And then they show unity, the two of them, joined in neural communion, surrounded by a planet that responds to balance, not domination. It reaches every city, every tree-bound outpost, every whispering village deep in the green. And far above, it reaches Federation ships. In orbit on the bridge of the flagship Diligence, Captain Sarah Tar studies the feed. Her crew stares stunned. Is that Liv? Yes, Tar says. Feed it to every deck. Then prep comms. I want Admiral Nero. Now. Back on the surface, remnant forces hesitate. Civilian outposts begin to resist. Federation scouts cut comms and vanish into the mist. The alliance is fracturing. Inside the vault, Lysari smiles grimly. We broke their play. Talon exhales. Now we hold the line. But the neural web flickers. Strained. Overextended. We can't keep it going forever, he warns. They'll adapt. Shut us down. Lysari nods. Then we find the next piece. The place my people refuse to acknowledge. The mayor of the vault. The second neural core. Talon realizes. Yes. Built by the exiled men. Hidden beneath the ice plateaus of the North Scar. He grins, though his face is pale with fatigue. Of course. Because saving a dying planet once wasn't enough. The journey to the Scar begins before the smoke clears. Talon, Lysari, Arlen, and Goran board a bioship grown from the vault itself, a living vessel, sleek and translucent, shaped like a manta glider and responsive to thought. The neural web guides them. They fly north. Beneath them, Casaria changes. The vibrant green jungles give way to cracked tundra, scattered glaciers, and then a vast expanse of broken ice and steel. The North Scar is where the planet bleeds. They descend into blizzard-choked silence. Wind howls through jagged canyons of ancient ice, but beneath the surface, something throbs. Lysari leads them to a sinkhole ringed by ice crystal pylons. Talon feels it before he sees it, the second vault, buried in frost. Its architecture is different. Angular. Efficient. Male. No vines. No warm curves. Just cold logic. Welcome to the Bastion Core, Lysari murmurs. The lost half. Arlen squints at the structure. Feels less like a temple, more like a war bunker. Same function, Goran mutters. Just different handwriting. They step into the darkness. The interior is colder than the jungle vault, but alive in its own way. Panels pulse with ice blue light, and floors respond to their steps with faint pulses of energy. Unlike the Marrow Spire vault, this one doesn't greet them. It tests them. Security drones emerge, spherical sentries with glowing red cores and precision arms. They float in silence, scanning, calculating. Unidentified female genome. One states, voice sterile. Access denied. Lysari's eyes narrow. Figures. Talon steps forward. Override pilot Talon Vire. Earth Federation. Neural network key signature 0-2-7A. The drone pauses. Partial match detected. The chamber shifts. Walls pull back. A second interface rises, this one shaped like a blade splitting into a pair of wings. Welcome, Skyborn. The Bastion Vault speaks. Where is your echo? My what? Talon frowns. Your compliment. Your counterpoint. Unity requires both. Lysari steps forward. The drones twitch. Talon spreads his arms. She is my echo. My other half. You need her. The drones hesitate, then retract. Acceptable risk. The vault concludes. Integration permitted. As they sit on the twin chairs, steel and frost instead of crystal and vine, the bastion pulses cold logic into their minds. It shows them the other half of the history, men exiled, building underground, surviving in isolation, creating a rigid order just to maintain sanity. The bastion core was their salvation, and their prison. And now it's dying too. Without balance, it's collapsing inward. Each generation colder. Less human. They need the web, Lysari says aloud. And the web needs both sides. The bastion flashes red. Unification detected. Protocol Prime may now be initiated. Talon blinks. Protocol what? But then the vault shows them something bigger. A third node. Neither Marrow Spire nor Bastion. A core they didn't know existed. A control ring built at the dawn of colonization. Neutral. Forgotten. Hidden. Orbiting. Above Casaria, in the planet's upper thermosphere, something stirs. A structure long thought to be a myth, a derelict orbital ring encircling the equator, cloaked and silent for over 300 years, hums to life. Segments blink in sequence, revealing a spine of metal and crystal stretching thousands of kilometers. The Unity Ring. Talon breathes as the bastion projection unfolds before them. They built a master node. In orbit. Lysari nods slowly. A failsafe. One that required input from both ground cores to unlock. Goran whistles. So all this wasn't just about saving the planet. This was a key to the whole damn system. Arlen's face hardens as she watches the projection of the ring brighten with activity. If we don't reach it first, the Federation and Remnant will hijack it. And that would give them global control. They could rewrite the biosphere. Talon realizes. Filter every message. Weaponize the environment. Goran mutters. That's not conquest. That's genocide wrapped in software. Talon steps forward. The vaults gave us access. But the ring will determine what happens next. Lysari finishes. They exchange a look. And for the first time since the crash, they both smile, the same tired, grim expression shared by people about to attempt something absolutely insane. The bioship launches from the scar an hour later. The neural web carries them on streams of ionized current. The planet wants them to succeed now. Talon and Lysari remain partially linked to the twin vaults, their minds guiding the vessel with increasing synchronization. As they breach the mesosphere, Federation cruisers appear on the horizon. Targets inbound, Arlen says, reading the HUD. 3 Federation. 1 Remnant. They're heading for the ring. Any chance they haven't figured out what it does? Goran asks. Nope. Talon squints ahead. We beat them there or we don't beat them at all. He boosts the neuroweb's propulsion output. The bioship surges forward like a comet, trailing spectral light. The ring grows in the viewport, a vast, silent titan cradling the planet like a forgotten god. But proximity triggers defense systems. Automated turrets ignite from the ring's skin, ancient but still deadly. Lysari reaches out. Let me speak to it. She presses her palm to the console. Her voice echoes through the bioship. We are the bridge. The balance. The unity you were made to serve. Let us in. The turrets power down. The bioship docks. Inside the ring, gravity is artificial and temperamental. Light flickers through overgrown corridors. Robotic custodians, long dormant, clatter to life and freeze in confusion before bowing and standing aside. Talon and Lysari approach the command node, a central pillar surrounded by interfaces. It's waiting for them. 2 slots. 2 signals. They reach for it together. The ring recognizes them, not as invaders, but as heirs. Outside, Federation and Remnant ships arrive too late. The ring is locked. A transmission goes out, not just to Casaria, but the galaxy. Talon's voice, echoed by Lysara's, echoes across every channel. This planet belongs to neither conquerors nor ghosts. It belongs to its people, all of them. We choose unity. The orbital ring glows like a crown above Casaria. The transmission from Talon and Lysara, now rebroadcast through the planetary neuroweb, floods the communications spectrum. It overrides military encryptions, pierces atmospheric interference, and plays in every remnant bunker and Federation war room. And the message is clear. No more conquest. No more division. Unity or collapse. On the remnant cruiser Vigilant Spear, Commander Kael watches the feed in silence. His second-in-command approaches. "Orders, sir?" He doesn't answer immediately. His eyes fixate on Lysara's face in the transmission, not defiant, not trembling, but calm. Unbreakable. "They've activated the ring," he mutters. The second-in-command says, "If we press the assault, orbital weapons will respond. The AI won't recognize us as friendlies anymore." Kael closes his eyes. His teeth grind. "Then we're done here." He gives the retreat signal. On the bridge of the Federation flagship Diligence, Admiral Nero slams his hand onto the console. "Cut the feed," he barks. "It's planetary," an officer says. "We can't. The ring's running the grid now." Behind him, Captain Sarah Tar folds her arms. "You've lost," she says. He turns. "I command this fleet." "Not anymore," she replies, holding up a Federation tribunal warrant. "Charges: conspiracy, unauthorized incursion, collusion with hostile non-member factions." Nero's mouth opens in protest, but blinks as the Diligence's own crew draws weapons on him. Tar sighs. Maybe next century. 3 days later, the Earth Federation sends official envoys, not soldiers. The landing site is carefully chosen, neutral, quiet, monitored by both former matron guards and exiled male scholars who have since emerged from hiding. They meet beneath the golden canopy of the twin spiral towers, the place where exile began. A Federation diplomat bows to Lysara and Talon. "We owe you an apology." "We don't want apologies," Lysara says coolly. "We want protection. Non-interference. Recognition," Talon adds, "and partnership. Not just with Earth. With anyone willing to meet us halfway." The diplomat nods. "You've got it. Full sovereign status. Federation protectorate only by consent." Goran grunts. "Took a whole war for you folks to get polite." Arlen nudges him. "He means thank you." Later that night, under the starlight, Talon and Lysara stand at the edge of the vault's overlook. The jungle below hums, no longer unstable, but vibrant. Balanced. "You think we can keep this peace?" Talon asks. She leans into him, her voice softer than he's ever heard. "Only if we live it. Every day." He squeezes her hand. "Then we will." 6 months later, the Unity Accord is signed on the platform of the orbital ring, where the First Division once began. 200 leaders, former matrons, exiled male elders, foreign dignitaries, all bear witness. Talon and Lysara sit at the central table. When their turn comes, they each sign with both hands, a gesture agreed upon in secret, to symbolize dual origin, dual legacy, and dual future. Children born in the months following show hybrid traits: balance, strength without aggression, intelligence tempered with empathy. Federation scientists marvel. But the people of Casaria simply call them what they are: whole. Peace feels heavier than war. Talon stands alone inside the Unity Ring's uppermost dome, a chamber suspended in near orbit, ringed with transparent walls that look out on the entire planet. Below him, Casaria glows. Green veins of jungle wrap around sparkling cities, while white clouds drift over oceans healed from acid storms. The planet pulses with life. But in his chest, a familiar tension curls. Something's off. The vault hasn't spoken in days, not through visions, not through systems. Not even in dreams. And when the neural web goes quiet, it usually means it's listening. Lysara joins him, her footsteps soft on the obsidian ceramic floor. She wears her mantle of the Concordance High Assembly, now a symbol of balance between the old spiral matrons and the re-emerging Bastion exiles. Her face is calm, controlled, but her eyes betray it. You feel it too, Talon says. She nods. Something shifted. Do you think it's political? No. This isn't human. Or Casarian. Her voice drops. It's external. Talon stares out the window, watching as one of the new hybrid cities, Casaria Prime, lights its sky bridges. Children of both bloodlines run together beneath bioluminescent towers grown from vault-rooted seed steel. A world finally whole. So why does it feel like it's holding its breath? Lysari reaches into her satchel and pulls out a pulse scroll, a communication device encoded to vault frequency. She unspools it on the ledge. At first, the interface remains dark. Then, slowly, a red glyph appears. Unscheduled anomaly, deep system wake signal detected. Talon's mouth goes dry. From where? Outer system. Beyond the asteroid field. He swallows. Someone's knocking. No. Lysari murmurs, voice barely audible. Someone's coming home. A low chime echoes through the ring, but it's not the Federation, nor the Remnant. It's not even from Casaria's known channels. It's older. A frequency not used in over 3 centuries. The console pulses again. A string of fractured symbols resolves into one word, translated by the neural net with eerie clarity. Return. Behind them, Arlen's voice crackles over comms. We've got movement past the heliopause. Sublight object. Ancient signature. It's broadcasting toward the ring. Talon feels it in his spine. It's not a ship. Lysari's expression hardens. It's a seed. A pause. Then the vault pulses through the entire neural network. A single flash of data, flooding every interface, system, and sensory relay planet-wide. Even the forests respond. Even the oceans still. Perischism Genesis Protocol detected. Inbound entity class, migrant legacy. Synthesis predicted. Balance required. Talon turns slowly to Lysari. We woke the planet. And now the rest of the galaxy knows. Outside, in the blackness of space, a faint sliver of light appears, too straight to be a star. Too smooth to be random. The return isn't just coming. It's already here. Casaria's sky fractures open like a riddle unfolding. From the edge of the system, a vessel emerges, not Federation, not Remnant. It doesn't transmit signals. It doesn't respond to hails. It doesn't match any records. It predates them. The Unity Ring registers it first. The vault confirms it second. And Talon and Lysari? They feel it, through the neural resonance that never sleeps. Lysari clutches her temple. It's not just a ship. It's a seed. Talon watches the screen. Seed of what? Arlen and Goran, now both high-ranking field coordinators for Concordance operations, arrive within minutes. The command deck pulses with warning overlays. The thing's not slowing down. Goran growls. But it's not attacking neither. No weapons detected. Arlen adds. No heat signature. No propulsion trail. It's coasting on something else. Lysari steadies herself against the command rail. It's from the Genesis project. Everyone freezes. From the origin days, she says. Before the schism. Before vaults. Before Casaria was even named. Talon speaks low. You saw this in the vault. Not exactly. Hints. Protocols. There was a final contingency. A last vessel sent out when things first started collapsing. It wasn't exile. It was preservation. A whole offshoot of settlers abandoned the war and fled into deep space. Goran mutters. And now they're back? They said they'd return when they sensed the neural song again. Lysari says. When balance was restored. Arlen's voice is quiet. So, we rang the bell. The foreign vessel stops just outside planetary orbit. It opens, not like a hatch, but like a flower unfolding. And from it, a transmission. One word. Home? Casaria holds its breath. The vault pulses once. The ring responds. And Talon whispers, then let's answer. The Unity ring's control deck hums with suppressed energy. Across Casaria, systems flicker, not failing, but listening. The vaults, the neural trees, the spiral towers grown from hybrid sea steel, all begin responding to something none of them truly understand. The return signal continues to loop in all frequencies. We sense restoration. We are the children of the silence. We seek rejoining. We seek forgiveness. Lysari leans over the console, scanning glyphs that haven't surfaced in centuries. They're using Genesis 0 code. This predates the schism. This is original colonist protocol. Talon stands behind her, arms folded, watching the playback. They've been out there the whole time. Arlen chimes in from a side terminal. Seed ships like this were myth. Everyone thought they failed. That they drifted into black space or got eaten by fold collapses. They didn't fail. Lysari murmurs. They waited. Until we stopped killing each other. On screen, the seed ship continues its silent descent toward geosync orbit. It's unlike anything Casaria has seen, vast but not aggressive. Grown, not built. It looks like a silver organism wrapped in folded solar sails and deep crystal roots. It's more alive than any Federation vessel. Yet it carries no heat signature. No propulsion. No crew manifest. Just a single word on repeat. Home? Goran frowns. It could still be bait. Talon doesn't blink. Or a mirror. Lysari closes her eyes and reaches for the neural stream. She lets the vault surge through her spine, her mind latching on to distant currents. She gasps. The silence on the other end isn't empty. It's aware. They've changed, she says softly. More than we have. The ring pulses with a new alert. Neural cross-compatibility unknown. Synthetic-organic merge detected. Threat level, inconclusive. The seed folk aren't just returning. They've evolved. Talon places his hand on the control surface. We need to meet them. Face to face. Arlen shakes her head. What if they're not what they seem? Lysari opens her eyes, glowing faintly, vault light pulsing behind her irises. Then we find out who we are by how we respond. She looks to Talon. We go together. The docking chamber inside the Unity ring has never held its breath before. Until now. A corridor grown from living alloy and rude steel stretches from the seed ship to the ring, connecting two worlds, one reborn from war, the other reborn from silence. Talon adjusts his collar as the air pressure equalizes. His heartbeat isn't just nerves, it's resonance. The vault whispers behind his thoughts like wind through ancient leaves. He's never felt more connected. Or more uncertain. Lysari stands beside him in ceremonial concordance armor, spiral glyphs from the matrons and sharp geometric nodes from Bastion code fused into a single living surface. Her expression is unreadable, but her fingers flex unconsciously at her side. I expected more soldiers. Arlen murmurs behind them. We're not meeting an enemy, Lysari replies. We're meeting a decision. The doors slide open. And the sea folk step through. Not many, just 3. But the room bends around them. Their presence is not commanding. It's balanced. Not male or female. Not young or ancient. Not human or alien. They are composite. Their skin is a mosaic of chromatic plates, part flesh, part synth bark. Their eyes are luminous, but not mechanical. They wear robes that grow from their bodies like layered petals. The lead figure steps forward. They do not speak at first. They kneel. Lysari blinks. You don't have to. We do, the figure says, voice neither deep nor light, instead, perfectly harmonic. Because we were the ones who left. When your skies burned and your ground split. We left. We chose exile while you chose survival. Talon clears his throat. And now? The sea folk emissary, who calls themselves Elenox, rises slowly. Now we return. But not as saviors. Not as rulers. As witnesses. To see if the two halves of your world truly became whole. And to ask if there is a third path. Lysari narrows her eyes. You mean integration? Not just with us, Elenox says. With what you've all become. They turn their palm upward. It reveals a glowing neural lattice, either vault nor bastion. Something new. What you've done here is not the end of evolution, they say. It's the beginning. The vault pulses deep beneath the planet. The ring flares once, like a heartbeat syncing with something beyond its original design. The planet is listening. But so is something else. Deep space answers. And Casaria's legacy is no longer just local. It's becoming galactic. The Unity Council chamber is standing room only. Delegates from across Casaria, matrons, bastion technarchs, hybrid children now old enough to vote, even reformed remnant officers, fill the ringed amphitheater built into the Unity Ring's core. Hovering above them, projected in luminous blue, is Elenox. They stand at the center of the Sea Folk envoy, flanked by the two other travelers from the migrant ship. They speak without force, yet every syllable lands like stone in water. You have done the impossible, Elenox says. You heal the planet by refusing to choose sides. You made unity out of contradiction. But you now stand at the threshold of another decision. A map unfolds in light, not of Casaria, but the surrounding stars. You are not the only world that fractured, Elenox continues. There are others. Divided species. Collapsed empires. Fading experiments in survival. We've seen them. Wandered among them. Watched them die. But your signal reached farther than you think. And they are listening. Murmurs ripple across the council floor. Lysari stands, her cloak rippling behind her. You want us to share the vault? No, Elenox replies. We want you to share the method. Not the code. The truth. That balance is possible. That it works. Talon rises beside her. You're asking us to become more than a people. You're asking us to become a template. Yes, Elenox says. A nexus world. A center of convergence. A lighthouse for species still adrift. Goran mutters from the side. Stars help us. We're becoming missionaries. Arlen smirks. Better than mercenaries. But Lysari doesn't smile. She looks out over the chamber. Being a nexus means exposure. It means no more hiding. It means becoming a target. Or a symbol, Talon adds softly, of what survival can look like without domination. Silence. The room holds its collective breath. Then a voice rises, high, youthful, confident. It's a child. A hybrid girl with bastion glyphs painted in spirals down her arm. If we could survive what we came from, she says, we can survive what comes next. Applause ripples, then rolls like thunder. The vote is cast. Unanimous. Casaria will open its skies. Above them, the seed ship unfolds its petals once more. And sends out a signal not of inquiry, but invitation. 2 years later, the stars come to Casaria. They arrive not in warships, but in pilgrim vessels. Observation crews. Refugees. Diplomats. Even rebels seeking something older than ideology. Something that might still save them from collapse. The Unity Ring becomes more than a structure. It becomes a conduit. The vaults, once broken, now harmonized, stretch neural roots into orbit. The ring responds, reshaping itself daily as new species arrive with minds wired differently, hopes shaped by different suns. Casaria adapts. Because it was built to. On a clear morning over Marrow Spire, Talon walks a reconstructed skybridge grown from seed steel and transparent basalt. Below, laughter echoes from hybrid children, now second generation, learning both spiral geometry and bastion logic in schools designed by descendants of both. Above, the ring sparkles in full bloom. Not a weapon. Not a throne. But a signal tower. Beside him, Lysari walks in silence. Her expression is calm, the quiet of someone who carries storms and gardens in equal measure. You ever think we'd get here? Talon asks. No, she says truthfully. But I dreamed it anyway. A soft chime in her ear. A new envoy requests docking. This time, a silicon-based species from the red moons of Velix, seeking guidance on unifying their binary caste system. They heard Casaria did the impossible. And they've come to see if the stories are true. Lysari doesn't answer immediately. She looks at Talon. You ready to do this again? He laughs. We were never done. Below them, the first Unity-born child, a girl with silver eyes and green-streaked hair, places her hand on a freshly sprouted vault branch. It blooms instantly. No code. No ritual. No fight. Just acceptance. And above, beyond the neural net and outer sensors, the stars begin to change. New signals emerge. Civilizations that once ignored Casaria now redirect satellites. The term Unity Nexus becomes a designation. An idea. A warning. A promise. And far, far beyond, in systems not yet mapped, others prepare to follow. Not to conquer, but to converge. Ring planet the end. DNA a world healed. Rocket a legacy shared. Milky Way a future earned.